The headline, the English? No, it's simple. The United States struck Iranian targets for a third straight night. The story began with a tweet from the White House that the U.S. military was conducting airstrikes against Iranian forces, continuing the campaign that started last week. 3 nights of bombing have all the details. Then President Trump announced a 20% fee on cargo moving through the Strait of Hormuz, a key choke point that sees all of the world's oil and petroleum exports. In response, Iran said it had struck 2 oil tankers that were transiting the waters, intensifying an already heated conflict. The U.S. says the attacks were in self-defense, aimed at preventing Iranian ballistic missile and drone threats. Iran says the U.S. is committing an unjustified war of aggression. The last 3 missions involved the U.S. Navy, the Special Forces, and the Air Force, all underscoring the escalating military readiness. The Trump administration, who has all but disappeared from the political scene, is still telling the American public towers about how the U.S. is protecting American shipping lanes. The surcharge for cargo through the Strait of Hormuz was a big move. In the past 6 months, the global market has flared up over oil prices after sanctions and the blockades. This is part of the larger backdrop: an unsettled region, pressure from the West on Iran over its nuclear program, a chain of missiles and rockets, indirect engagements in Yemen, and now a direct confrontation in the Gulf. The economic toll is serious. The U.S. is now taxing 20% each shipment that crosses the strait. That's a projected estimate of man-made oil from one slot for large shipping. The conflict has turned oily, literally. 2 rebooted tankers took the U.S. attacker's mark. The New York Times report said the U.S. was conducting a third straight night of strikes, a sign of continued pressure, and a drill on Tehran's resolve. As the story just continues, the world watches. But the question remains, will this spiral out into a larger war, or will diplomatic channels intervene to find a resolution? All new allegations carry a heavy cost to underscore fact reality. They increase risk for all parties. If Iran strikes the tankers, it could trigger retaliation, or U.S. sanctions could be hit by Iranian forces. Narration layer dissolves into a sign-off. How to stay informed on the day using this info. Good news, Verkflick you. That's the story. What at the end we give you next idea to watch. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.